So this video was upon request, asked by a guy that I was courting. Why do I quickly and effortlessly cut people off so smoothly, and act like I don't care about them? Let's get into it. So, unfortunately, I am what you call a targeted individual, right? And I experienced something called gang stalking. It's when a community of people come together in private group chats, um, and just like target you and try to make you commit S, right? And they recruit your family members, they recruit coworkers, your friends to come into this group chat or to, harass you, and they get paid incentives to do it. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the people that have come against me, they all had financial weaknesses that were being exploited, which is so unfortunate, right? And so I was forced to either allow myself to continue to be disrespected or protect my peace by cutting people off. So the guy that I was courting, who I thought was a potential husband, he was wondering why, you know, like when I decided to stop talking to him, why it's so effortless for me to cut him off and act like, our situation or whatever we were doing, whatever that was, never happened. It's unfortunately because of that. That's kind of why my cutoff game is very strong. My mindset is, I came into this world by myself, right? So when God calls me home, I'm gonna be standing there by myself on Judgment Day, right? I'm gonna leave this world more than likely by myself, y'all willing. And so that's kind of my mindset. And it's really, really unfortunate, but in the beginning of me getting targeted, I had to cut off relatives who were paid to target me. I had to cut off my best friends. I'm talking about, I had some really good friends. And so when I date people and the relationship doesn't work out, I also find that it's easier to cut them off too, because I've had to cut off, you know, people that I love the most that have hurt me the worst. And so for me to cut off family and best friends and people that I've loved more than the guy that I just started dating, it's effortless to cut you off because I've cut off people that I've loved more than you. And I also cut them off effortlessly. I went out to dinner the other night with my sister, who I have not physically seen in 4 years. In over 4 years. And we literally only lived 20 minutes away from each other. She brought my nephew to dinner, and I had to get reacquainted to him because the last time I saw my nephew, he was down to my shoulders, and now the boy is towering over me and in high school. Lately, I've been seeing girls do like the glitter on the nose thing, and that's kind of cute to me, but I don't want to like overdo it. In my mind, you know, like when you don't care and you disconnect your feelings from someone quickly, uh, it stops you from making bad decisions. It stops you uh, from getting in your feelings, right? And it stops you from focusing on more important things in your personal life. So when you're focused on, caring about what someone says or what someone does, it can definitely like kind of knock you off of your focus. Let's say you're in business or you're creating content. You're in this energy of creating, right? And then something happens and you just put so much energy into caring about that one thing that's happening that could take the energy from focusing on your business, focusing on creating your content, and it steals from you spiritually, because all that energy that you were supposed to put into that business or creating that content or whatever it is that you were doing creatively, um, and you just all of a sudden don't want to do it anymore. So putting too much care into what people say or what people do, or the ending of relationships, it really steals from us spiritually. I was in a relationship with a guy for 10 years, and one thing I did notice in that relationship was that anytime him and I got into an argument, I would not want to focus on what was more important, which is like me doing my messages for YouTube, or doing modeling business videos for my business, right? So I noticed that I was slowing down on on my creativity, because I was too focused on caring about the argument from last night or how he feels and all this other stuff. So I just naturally learned how to put my feelings aside and focus on what was more important. So I hope that answers his question. Um, it steals from you spiritually. So I don't want to steal from myself. I don't want to not focus on what's more important, because I'm so focused on somebody who decided that they wanted to go with someone else. Like, people have options. People have, people the types of people that they prefer to be with. If you prefer to be with someone who's skinnier, or who has more money, or who has this and that, you can't allow yourself to get riled up because someone has a preference, right? And so that was my message for him. He wanted me to answer that question for him, so there you go. He preferred someone else, and I didn't want to take away from my creativity, or I didn't want to steal from my own energy uh, that I wanted to put towards something else. So I cut off the cord of caring, so that I don't focus my energy on that situation. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's the reason why it's important to have a good cutoff game. When you're ending a relationship, it can to rile up so many emotions, and you don't want to allow yourself to go down spiritually, because you decided to put all of your emotions into somebody, and then they decide that they no longer desired you, and now you're having all these emotions, and you're just sitting there ruminating on what happened, and all that time that's just spending ruminating on that person who decided that they no longer wanted to be with you, or who decided that they were going to go with someone else, or who decided that they no longer wanted to be your friend, or have any kind of relationship with you. um, like, you could be taking that time to create, you know, content, or to be in your creative energy, doing something that would help you grow, even financially, right? So, it's important to have a very strong cutoff game. Like, okay, you don't want to deal with me anymore, goodbye. Because there's so many things that we have going on in life. There's so many things that we can do that's more productive than sitting around ruminating about someone who thought someone else is better than you, or who thought that someone else uh, would have been a better opportunity, or they decided that they no longer wanted to have a friendship with you. Just say, okay, well, uh, have a great life. It was a pleasure knowing you, and I hope that all is best with you and yours. And you just keep moving. You got to keep going. That's the thing about life. You have to keep going and never give up. And whoever is for you will stick around throughout the tough times. They'll cry with you, they'll pray with you. But those who decide that, they don't want to stick around and be with you, then good, let them go. And that which allows opportunity for more people to enter your energy.